This week's Parshat Vayechi ends the story of Yosef and his brothers. Yosef is in a position of power in Egypt, and the land of Israel is in famine. Yosef's brothers go down to Egypt to ask for food, and when they approach Yosef, they don't recognize him. Yosef demands for them to bring the youngest of the brothers, Binyamin, to Egypt, or else he won't give them food. However, the brothers know that if they take Binyamin away from Yaakov, he won't survive losing two of his favorite sons. Yehuda offers himself as a slave instead of Binyamin. At this point, Yosef cannot restrain himself anymore, and he reveals his identity to his brothers. Rashi comments on the reaction of the brothers, Nifhalu mipanav, that they were so surprised because they were embarrassed by what they had done to him. After they work everything out, Yosef tells his brothers to return to their father and tell him that he is still alive. He adds that, on their way back to Israel, Al tirgizu baderech, do not quarrel on the way. Why would Yosef think that they would fight on the way back to Israel? Rashi says that according to Pshat, Yosef does not want his brothers to argue about whose fault it was that Yosef ended up in Egypt, since that would probably be their first reaction, since they were so ashamed. He didn't want them to blame each other. We learn from this that it is bad to hold grudges, and it is important to forgive. This message really resonated with me, since I always forget when people offend me, so I forget to hold a grudge against them. I noticed that memory is very closely connected to holding grudges, which is interesting since in the beginning of the story, Yosef remembers the dreams that he had and he uses them against his brothers, in a sense, holding a grudge against them. However, he must have put everything into perspective when he heard Yehuda's heartfelt begging and realized that everything happened because of God. I always thought that the fact that I couldn't hold grudges was a bad thing, but now I realize that it can actually be a good thing since I can now put everything into perspective.